Technology in the construction industry evolves rapidly, faster than ever. But technology alone does not drive change. People do. Digital construction champions do. What does it take to lead digital innovation in construction? In our first episode, we sit down with Vladimir Gutesa, a true digital pioneer with over 18 years of experience in BIM, digital twins, and facility management. As a certified Autodesk professional and instructor, he has trained more than 700 students and delivered thousands of hours of courses, inspiring teams and driving real change across the industry. Join us to discover his journey, insights, and the mindset behind successful digital transformation. Hi, Vladimir. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello, Frederick. Well, my name is Vladimir Gutesa. I'm Autodesk instructor and I'm Autodesk Revit and AutoCAD certified professional.
So can you tell us, please, what is your current role in the company you are employed?
Well, my current role is development manager in company called TeamCAD here from Serbia. I'm head of Novi Sad office and main office is in city of Belgrade.
Okay, it's a little bit tricky question, but if you need to describe your role and your work in one sentence, what would you say about that? Only one sentence, sorry, it's a tricky question, but...
In one sentence, that is really tricky. Well, I would say that together with my team, I'm helping companies implementing BIM solutions, and we are developing some tools that are helping them in that process. And additionally, we are developing the applications that will benefit from the BIM models, or company will benefit from their BIM models in the future. So
Sure.
practically something that comes after the BIM.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so welcome to second block of Vladimir's journey, called the career journey. So Vladimir, how did you enter the construction, or I would say digital construction industry?
Well, that happened a long time ago. I think 20 years ago. I was working in that time as Autodesk instructor in TeamCAD, company TeamCAD. And I got an opportunity to work as a software expert, to work on some projects in US market, in New York especially. And I was involved in projects that were working on plumbing installation in buildings, and that was my entry point in construction industry. And I was a couple of times in New York. I was on construction sites. I was on coordination meetings. I was involved in everything regarding that process, and I really learned a lot. I was involved in very large projects. For example, first project that we worked on, first BIM project, if we can call that a BIM, but definitely 3D model and everything. And in that time, we can say that was a BIM, because BIM evolved for this time between. And that was 16 years ago. That was 2009, and I was working on a project on the new Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
So that was practically first BIM project that I was involved in that market.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and after that, I was working on a Memorial Sloan Kettering Hospital. That was a cancer treatment hospital, I think in 2025 ranking, that is a second best world hospital for cancer treatment. I was working on some new terminals on JFK Airport. I was working on reconstruction of Madison Square Garden, some hotels on Times Square, that is a section between Times Square and 701 Street. There is some hotel that I work on. So a lot of different projects, but a lot of experience, and I got the chance to see how everything is functioning in that very complex and advanced and financially very strong market as such as US market. And as I said, that is practically everything is on Manhattan in New York.
So considering your experience, I think we can say that US was in that moment they were ahead of Europe regarding the 3D and BIM.
Yeah, definitely. If you're looking about standards, there are some countries in Europe, for example, that maybe got far by implementing standards, everything for example, United Kingdom. But still, you have a lot of countries in Europe that don't have such standards. But from the point of implementation and usage of BIM technologies, definitely US market is, I think, 10 years ahead of Europe.
Okay, thank you. So we jump to the second question in the block. What were the key milestones on your path to today's position?
Well, there is, I think, 4 key milestones. So first of one, definitely that I start working for TeamCAD as at that time as an Autodesk instructor. Then the second milestone is that thing that I started work for US market, that is a company called D.O.O Consulting, and the fact that I work for them and that I have a chance to learn all these things about that industry, that was definitely second key milestone. The third was the point in 2019 when TeamCAD decided to open office here in Novi Sad, and the decision that that office will provide exclusively just BIM services, and that we will focus just on BIM services. So I think in last 6 years we completed maybe more than 80 different projects, mostly for the German market, for Sweden, for maybe just a couple of them for Serbian market. So that was the third milestone, and fourth was the COVID. Practically, when we
will
get
change the way how we work.
Yeah, everything changed, and in that lockdown time when we all was closed, to keep myself busy and to keep myself sane, I was starting to learn everything about web technologies, and about, in that time, the name of service was Forge. Now that is Autodesk Platform Services. And I switched from development of desktop applications to web applications.
Yeah.
And during that COVID period, I was developed one first digital twin in Serbia. That was a digital twin of one shopping mall here in Novi Sad. So that was our entry point in Autodesk Platform Services technology and in all that digital twins technology and etc.
Yeah.
Of course, I involved some other people later on from my team in all of that, but that was the fourth key point that led me
So considering your answer about milestones, I would say you're a true leader, like, and not just Novi Sad office, but yourself. You're some kind of innovator, I would say.
Well,
Where I think that today the biggest challenge is to step out from the comfort zone, which is a little bit becoming a little bit rare thing on the market. So since you had the chance, I mean, what did you have to learn in order to step into the web technologies? It's not just about Forge, but I guess it's some coding and
a lot of coding, a lot of technology, everything behind the web services, the servers, the back end, the front end, Autodesk
some
Platform
AI
Services.
now.
Some AI definitely in one moment, so a lot of new things. But I don't consider myself as a some leader. I'm just curious. I want to learn new things. When I see something that I don't, I cannot just pass away. I need to read
Leave
it. I
it,
need
yeah.
to try it. I need to see what is the potential of technology. So I think if something make me a little bit different than, I don't know, regular people, that is maybe I'm just more curious than most of the people.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're similar to that point, because I think that typically there are two types of people. One type of people that is like waiting for others to pioneer, and the pioneers who sometimes fail, but in the most of cases, because of enthusiasm, they make a good success, I would say. So
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Sorry, there's a lot of people that usually they say, "Okay, I'm 40 years old. I don't want to learn new
that's
things.
you mean on
I'm
university professors?
everywhere, yeah, in regular life." And
Yeah,
I'm 47 years old, and I'm not planning to stop learning. So I will
that's
learn
right. That's right.
as far as I can.
Yeah, that's right. So the final question in block two. So did you have a mentor or champion who inspired you along the way?
Well, to be honest, no, because I don't know. There's a lot of people that from which I learned a lot of things, good things, how to do something. And there's people that learn from which I learned how not to do some things. So I cannot just, I don't know, put one person
So
in.
a lot of champions around you
Yeah, a
that
lot
learned
of
you.
champions and a lot of, I don't know what would be opposite of champions, but
Yeah, in some way, if there is a bad experience and you learn from it, it's still champion, because
yeah, definitely you just
wherever you
see,
learn, it's a good thing.
yeah, you see what not to do and
That's right.
not wasting your time to learn that lesson by
Yeah.
yourself.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we are closing now block two. Thank you and see you. Okay. So welcome to block three. Vladimir, I think this is the best question for you because you can take a time and explain some things about which project or initiative do you consider your biggest success?
Uh, that would be the project that we called Pavles. That was the project where we practically implemented all our knowledge that we have, or at least this IKE team, about digital twins, about BIM technology, about Internet of Things, about sensors, about artificial intelligence, etc. So, in short, Pavles is name of the project was from the name of high school here in Novi Sad. The name of high school is Pavle Savić, and from that project name is Pavles. Pavle Savić was one famous Serbian scientist, and a couple of years ago there was a very strong storm here in Novi Sad, very atypical for Serbian climate. So we don't have usually such storms. And that building, that school was devastated. The roof was destroyed. There had floods and everything. So city, of course, uh,
Hmm.
what is the word? They make everything function again, right? They
Fixed, yeah.
fix everything on the building, and TeamCAD offered to create for that school free of charge. We invested our time, our money, our resources, our sensors, our servers, everything. So that was completely free of charge to create the digital twin and to create a web-based application based on Autodesk platform services that will help them to manage the school better and that will help them to prevent some future damage. And there's a lot of features in that application, but I will talk about maybe the two most important ones. For example, one of the problems that school had was the resources for the cleaning, for the maintenance of the building, and usually they don't have enough staff. They usually don't can cover all the areas in the school, and we combined the digital twin, the BIM model of the school, with motion sensors, and we developed application that in every moment you can see, okay, I have couple of people that need to clean, I don't know, second floor, and you can check which classrooms did you use in that period. So I don't know if you're looking from the beginning of the day until, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the evening. You see, okay, you have some classrooms that nobody didn't use and nobody entered in them, so you don't need to clean them. Later on, from, I don't know, 5 o'clock until the end of the day, you can see that, I don't know, all the rooms that was used by principal, by, I don't know, all the other functions of the school. You see that those offices were not used, so you can focus just to clean the rooms that somebody used.
Yes, yeah.
So that helped them a lot to maintain, to clean all that space and to organize everything around the
And it's
cleaning
very
process.
good optimization of usage based on data, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You're combining the information from BIM model, you're combining that with sensors. So, okay, from the BIM model, you know that is you know the room name, you know the room number, you know the surface of the room. And on the other hand, from the sensors, you're reading how many times somebody entered in that room. So you have information, did anybody use that room? And if somebody used that room, you know the surface that you need to clean, and you have information how many times sensor detected someone's presence. So you can even for the rooms that you need to clean, you can see, okay, in one room just one person entered, and in one second room you have, I don't know, 2000, I don't know, 200 people that passed during the day. So you probably know that there is a large chance that that other room is something that you need first to clean, and this other is not maybe a priority at that moment. So that is one of the modules that we implemented, sensors and combining sensors with data from the BIM model. And another module that is also very interesting, that is a module that will try to prevent that damage that they had a couple of years ago. Because in that school they are teaching chemistry, so usually they keep windows at least a little bit open because all of evaporations that you have from those chemicals.
Yeah.
And that was the part of the problem, that when that storm came, the wind opened all those windows, and strong wind combined with a lot of rain, they flooded the classrooms, and it was a terrible damage and a lot of damage to equipment, to furniture, to everything in the building. So now we put the open close sensors on all windows. We connected application with World Meteorological Organization, and we are waiting for the information about weather conditions here in Novi Sad. And if the World Meteorological Organization give a warning that there is a storm that will happen in city of Novi Sad or around the city of Novi Sad, we get that information. We'll check, is there any open windows at that moment in the building, and if there is, we are combining the sensor data with room name. And for all subscribed users, we are sending them on Telegram application on phone information that World Meteorological Organization is triggered an alarm that there is a storm that is expected in the area, and that you have open windows in room, I don't know, 2, 6, 55, and 72. And you have a chance to react, to close that and to prevent damage. So that is something that is, again, very interesting combination from my point of view. You have the building, you have the windows, you have information about where those windows are in which rooms, and you're combining that with World Meteorological Organization and with Telegram, and you are issuing some warnings that can prevent some.
And it all fits in the predicted prescriptive um, AI decision, because in case you don't have a warning, everything stays calm. In case you have a warning, so
Yeah,
it
of
sounds
course.
like there is a decision and there is a prescriptive decision made
Yeah, you
based
get
on
a lot
data.
of information. You get, I don't know, you have informations that high temperature is expected, and okay, that is something that you can tolerate. That is not something that, I don't know, you maybe
Yeah,
don't need to do anything about that.
doesn't bother.
Yeah, but if you receive the information that there's a storm coming, and I don't know, it's a level red, then you need to react, or it would be smart to react. And also, we did implement the artificial intelligence in that object because at the end we realized that there is a ton of information in the coming from sensors, and you already have some, not some, a lot of information in BIM model. So we realized that for one person that will be very hard to figure all the problems or all the weak points or whatever, because you have sensors or you have information about those doors and windows, you have information about presence, you have temperature, humidity, you have a lot of gas in gas station, etc. So we implemented artificial intelligence, and on one click we are gathering all that data from complete building and from all the sensors, because we are keeping all the data from sensors in database, and we will give all that information to AI, and from the AI we get complete report on one page
Yeah,
that you have just critical information. For example, if you need to change the battery on some sensors, you will get that information that, I don't know, motion sensor in room 23 need to be changed, battery needs to be changed. But if you don't have any problem with batteries, you don't get any information about that. So you get just the important things
yeah,
summarized, and at the end of that report, artificial intelligence is giving you some guidance what you can do to improve the working of school. If there is, I don't know, temperatures that are higher than expected for school or lower than expected from a school, etc., etc. So you get some additional advices what you can do to make everything better.
sounds really smart, I would say.
Yeah.
So
I,
the second question in this block: what was the toughest challenge in digital transformation in your company or some project?
Well, the toughest challenge in my company in digital transformation, like in any company, it's to find and to keep good people. So
Mm.
that is definitely a problem for
I think
everyone.
it's everyone's issue. I would say, sorry for
Yeah,
interrupting, but I think
definitely.
if you ask in the market and why the salaries are also a little bit higher than the rest of construction industry, I would say in digital construction industry, it's happening that there's a lot of people. This is my experience. There is a lot of people who are telling a lot and promising a lot until they really start to work, and then
Yeah,
there is a big failure behind the comparing the what they promised that they can do comparing to what they really do. So
yeah.
this
What
is
can
this
we
is
really
also my,
do?
my experience.
Yeah, definitely. That is a really big problem, and uh, and as you know, the BIM is about people. You don't have
Yeah,
a
that's right.
machine that is making BIM. So if you
That's
don't
right.
have good people, you don't have BIM. So it's very simple.
It's the same dilemma with the AI nowadays, because indeed all the technology needs to be driven. You have a robot dog, you have cameras, you have a motion detector, everything, but you need people to make the decision. So this is the
Yeah,
reason why we
definitely.
have this channel, indeed, because behind every technology there are people who are implementing. So my idea was to promote the people rather. I mean, technology is already there, but somebody needs to implement it. And
Yeah,
persons like yourself, for example, are very good example of how technology can be used in a smart way instead of using the finite or finished technologies. And I know that you developed some fantastic tools but we can speak about them later on if you're fine with that. The third question in this block, how do you approach implementing BIM and digital tools in large teams?
Well, there is those things that I don't know. You are expecting that I will say, okay, the training, the implementation, the defining of processes and everything. But the first thing that we are doing on the start of implementation BIM in some large companies, we are trying to sit with decision makers, with owners, with CEO, with all the decision makers, and we are trying to explain to them that fact that BIM is about people, and that you will need to think about people when you are thinking about BIM, and that in this implementing process, during the training, etc., we will recognize some people that we are calling champions, and those are the people that will take initiative when we from TeamCAD go out from your company. And those champions are the people that are pulling the process. So they will help other colleagues with the software, they will make procedures, they will help about, I don't know, creating some families that you need, etc., etc. And they're pulling the process.
Yeah.
Management needs to stand behind everything and push everyone in same direction. And to be aware of that you need to somehow to compensate that enthusiasm that those champions have, and you need to help them to feel good, and you need to help them that BIM really starts to work and that everybody is involved.
Yeah.
Or if you don't, those champions will leave and you are back on start position again. You spend a lot of money and again you don't have BIM, and you don't have your
even worse, you go back one step back because you already
one step
invested
back
in
because
something
now
which is not working.
Yeah, now you don't have even your best people because they left in process.
And you have a process without people who can drive the process. So you invested in something that is not paying off. So ROI of that investment is never.
Yeah, definitely. So that is the main thing. Everything else, okay, we can talk about procedures, we can talk about learning the software, etc. But the first thing that you need to realize, if you are not thinking about the people, you will not have BIM in your company. That is the fact.
Can we go to the next question?
Yeah.
I just don't want to take your time. So the last question in block 3. What is the biggest lesson you have learned from failure?
The biggest question, the biggest lesson that I learned from the failure is I'm that type of person that I'm trying to work everything by myself, and that is impossible. So the first thing I learned, you can't do it everything by yourself. Doesn't matter what your potential is, but it's impossible. So you need to rely on other people, and when you rely on other people, you need to be aware of that some other decision makers in your company can make your project collapse. And never mind that you invested a lot of energy and a lot of, I don't know, knowledge and everything. At the end, maybe it will not, you will have nothing. So you need to learn how to deal with that. You need to recognize what are potential problems. You will need to learn how to fight some of your battles. But that is, I think, the number one lesson that I learned.
Okay, so we are at the end of block 3. See you in block 4. Okay, so welcome to block number 4 called Trends and the Future. The biggest challenge of future, because what we could predict in 10 years is now happening in 2 years. So I think Vladimir will have a really good and hard task to tell us something about how he imagines the future and how AI can give the impact to our lives. I mean, it's already giving the impact, but I think, it's still at the early beginning. So Vladimir, which trend in digital construction excites you the most?
Well, something that is most interesting for me at this moment are digital twins, because it give me it is something that I'm giving the new life for the BIM model. You have very complex BIM model that was created because of the project, but at the end you put that project on some hard drive or some cloud, you backup it, and nobody use it anymore, and you have a lot of information there stored. So I really like the things about digital twins, because you can reuse all the data and use them for facility management for the first thing, and you can then combine that with, as I said, with sensors, with artificial intelligence, etc. So this is the something that I really like to work on, digital twins. As far as artificial intelligence, there's a lot of hype about artificial intelligence. From my point of view, AI is a very, very, very good tool, but I think you will always need some people behind everything, and
That's
it's
right.
not you cannot give to AI to be creative and to solve some projects that was not seen before. So definitely you need people. And I tried to ask ChatGPT, the same question. Okay, there is a hype that artificial intelligence will change people, and that we will not need, I don't know, developers anymore, because all code will be produced by artificial intelligence. And the answer of the chat GPT was that we don't need to think on that way, because artificial intelligence is something that you can compare with airplane. When everything is okay, when you start flying, when you reach some height,
Yeah.
you switch to autopilot, and artificial intelligence is autopilot. When everything is perfect, everything is functioning as expected, you don't need to use that pilot. You can give him some space to rest, or I don't know, whatever. And the artificial intelligence is great autopilot. But when you are landing or in some emergency situations, you need the people, you need the human. And that is the way that everything will function. You will always, okay, some boring, repetitive tasks, some informations that will be handled by AI. But the tricky things, the some, I don't know, situations where you need to evolve not just logic, but maybe, I don't know, some illogical things, some emotions, some decision that you will make based on
right.
emotions, then you cannot rely on artificial intelligence. So that is, and I think that will not change in near future. That always you will use AI as a great, really great tool that helps a lot, but you will always need to have behind some human that will lead the way.
I will not give my opinion about AI in the future, because it would take us additional 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But in general, it sounds like a Brussels administration. I mean, an EU administration. When everything is perfect, they look fine. When there is something wrong, they don't look fine. You know, it's simply.
If you know how AI is functioning, that you can expect everything, that all the things that, I don't know, some people okay about, I don't know, the wrong answers, or if you're thinking about code, for example, you know that all that large language models learned about the code by looking some other people's code, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you get the solution where you have the methods that a lot of people call the same way, and your AI thinks that that method is part of an API, but it's not, doesn't
Yeah.
exist. And if you know the way how artificial intelligence is working, okay, you realize that that is common error and you cannot just copy and paste your code. It will never work, or sometimes it will, but in most cases it will not. So if you are aware of that, how artificial intelligence is functioning, as I said, it's a phenomenal tool, great tool, but you cannot just give the task to artificial intelligence and say, okay, just complete everything. I
Trust
don't need
you
to be
completely.
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I trust you completely. No, no, definitely not.
I wouldn't give it to fix my tooth, for example, you know.
Yeah. Or make my haircut.
Yeah. So the question, the second question, sorry, where do you see the industry in 5 to 10 years? I know it's a hard question. Even I don't have the answer, but I think in 5 years we can have a look and say, look, Vladimir was the closest, or whoever in a show.
Yeah.
I mean mostly about construction industry. I would say, you know.
In TeamCAD, they all usually tell that I'm the dark cloud of TeamCAD, that I'm always the pessimist. So for this is industry that doesn't change very fast. So I don't expect much in 5 years. Maybe I do expect something in 10 years from now. If I need to predict, I would say in 5 years, most of the industry we will create 3D models, because you, as you know, you still have companies that working on 2D drawings. So you will have everyone will work in 3D environment. That will be something that is a new standard. And in 10 years, we can expect that most of the companies it will work in BIM. So not just 3D model, that they will have really defined processes and everything behind BIM, and that all the models will be created by some standards, etc. So I don't, to be honest, I don't expect much. I don't expect some large changes,
I
because
think when
in
BIM
last
started,
20 years.
yeah, I think when BIM started, I was very enthusiastic, and then I realized that people around me are not enthusiastic. So it depends really pretty much about champions and their enthusiasm. And just to give you an example, of when we offered a digital twin service to a certain company, one of my companies that I worked in, sorry, in my past. So they rejected the digital twin because they didn't have technician who can um, understand the data from database. So they told us, no, no, give us traditional 2D PDFs and paper printed drawings, because this is the top that our technician from maintenance can understand. So this is also an issue where you have technology, but you don't have people who can set it up in a field that it works for everyone. So
Yeah,
I think,
definitely. Everything is about people, as I said, and about investors, if I can say, the people with money. So they need to see the reason why they are going into BIM. And there's a lot of reasons,
that's
but
right.
the thing is that most of them doesn't understand, because at the beginning you're spending money, right? And you don't know is that is going to be successful, that BIM
That's right.
implementation. But if you have a successful BIM implementation, that will save you a lot of money, and
Exactly.
that's
There is a
something.
magical word, the automation, indeed, where people don't understand that automation is something you have a convention. If you follow the convention, you will get the results very cheap and very
Yeah.
reliable.
Well, we tried a lot of things in TeamCAD, because we're trying to solve that problem, how to implement the BIM in components, and now we are trying to solve that with to make people accept to work in BIM models, to create BIM models, to work in Revit, by creating some additional Revit add-ins that will simplify things for them. So, for example, I don't know, rebars. You can create rebars in Revit. But if I make you Revit add-in that will create rebars the way as your company is doing that by, I don't know, 1 or 2 clicks, you will say, okay, this is great because I was
That's right.
working hours on this and now that is a 1 or 2 clicks away. And that is the way to user to give him perspective that okay, this is a good thing for you. You will not need to spend hours and hours doing some repetitive tasks. We can speed things up. So that is a one way to help people to move in that direction. But in general, as we said, people and decision makers with money needs to realize how much savings they will have
Yeah.
with.
So the final question in this block: what role will digital managers play in the shaping of the future of construction industry?
Well, they are the ones that will always pull with more or less success. So if you ask me where we'll be in 10 years, that depends on those on those people, the
We
digital
already,
managers.
yeah, we already mentioned the process, and
Yeah.
they need to. I think there is a saying like that the weakest point in a chain is the strength of your chain. So we need to identify the weakest point in the chain and make it adjust it with the entire chain. So, like if you have five basketball players, sorry, against four, there is a big chance that five will win over four once.
Yeah.
So this is the task for future, I believe.
Well,
So
again and again, everything is
yeah,
about people
people,
in BIM. It's not
champions,
BIM. Yeah, BIM
call
is
them digital
one.
construction champions.
Yeah.
Okay, Vladimir, thank you. So we can close now the block number 4. See you in block 5. Okay, so we are starting now block 5 called the personal inspiration. Vladimir, the tricky question. Which book, podcast, or person inspires you the most in the professional journey? Or what is your last book that you have read? Like,
Well, to be honest, most of the books that I read are the things that just to keep the weight from my brain, not to to overwhelm it with some another ideas and some complex things. So I can't really, I don't know, recommend some good book because but I have some books. For example, I have C#.
oh,
Yeah, I have
it's very romantic.
JavaScript. Yeah, very romantic. So romance with JavaScript. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
we can
So
see.
yeah. Then one small book again, learn C#, etc., etc. So
Yeah. So
those
you
are the
prefer
books that I
drama
usually read.
and love stories.
Yeah, and drama, love stories, and sometimes it's a little bit of, I don't know, porn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, nice. So what advice would you give to young engineers and managers who want to become digital champions, like some of us?
Advice. Well, pool in your company, pool the one project. And if you realize that you don't have support of your management and of your colleagues, uh, complete that project and move on because things will not change
In career?
probably never. Yeah, yeah, move on with your career, go
Yeah.
in other company because from my experience, if you fail the first time because of the environment and people surrounding you and the management, etc., that will not
There is no
change.
chance to change. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. This is my experience as well. I had the opportunity to have that I was managing the first BIM project in my life in 2008. And it was total failure. So my boss, he wanted to fire me, but the director who set up the strategy for BIM implementation told me, no, you're staying. You just need support. So I received some support from Italy, from my friend Giuseppe Pellegari. He came 2 weeks in Belgrade and supported me. So after that, I really started to understand what I'm doing with Revit. So I think this is also an issue where champions need to support young colleagues. But as you said, if there is a bigger surrounding where people are skeptical, like if they are dominant in a company, I think there is no good chance to change their minds. Even if you prove it like 100%, they will still try to find some error in your work. So I would say that I'm totally supportive regarding what you said previously. And the final question for this block: if you could send one message to the entire construction industry, what it would be?
One message, needs to be something smart. Well, the first thing, two things. 3D is not a BIM. That is very important to understand. And the second, definitely keep your champions.
I fully agree. So we are closing block 5. Okay, so welcome to block 6. We have now questions for Vladimir about, I will call it lightning round. It's a set of questions that are not related with the business anymore. So let's meet Vladimir and his private part of his personality. Vladimir, quick questions: coffee or tea?
Coffee, definitely.
Coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Why?
Well, it keeps me awake, and I really like the taste of the coffee. I don't combine coffee with milk, with sugar, or anything, cream. No, just strong coffee, and lots of strong coffee.
Nice. How many per day?
Ooh, who knows? Too much, definitely. I would say at least 5, 6.
Oof.
At least 5. Yeah, a lot of coffee.
You're a big guy. Okay, so the second question: construction site or office?
Office, definitely. I like to be in front of my computer and in front of
Okay.
the software.
One software that you cannot live without.
Revit, definitely Revit.
Your first and final love.
Yeah. It's not my first love. Well, I started with AutoCAD. I was certified professional for the Autodesk
SolidWorks, right?
Inventor.
Inventor, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Inventor. I was certified professional for Inventor also. That badge expired maybe 1 year ago. So the Revit is not my first love, but definitely the biggest love.
Yeah. So first thing you do when you get to work. I think I know the answer, but I'll wait for you.
Make coffee.
What about Porter? Do you put your...
Yeah, I subscribe to our that is one of our solution for tracking the hours we spend in our office. And when
You can say a couple of words. I think this is very good
well,
product
in
for
general,
checking.
yeah, that is the software for checking. You're using the tag or your card with ID. And what is special about that solution is that is connected with all the switches and what is the word for connectors, electrical. So when you go out of your office and you put your tag on device that will detect that you're going out, that you're practically unsubscribing, right?
Yeah.
It will turn off your lights, it will turn all the switches, etc. And when you come in the morning, when you put your tag on the device, it will power all your switches and it will let you turn on the light, because it will not turn light automatically, because I don't know, in the summer you don't need light at the morning, but it will let you to turn on, and that is something that you will save some power, etc. So that is
one additional development of Vladimir and TeamCAD.
Yeah. That started as our internal project, and at the end it ends up with
Commercial,
as a
yeah.
commercial software. So
So, final question for today's interview: best productivity app on your phone?
Best productivity app. Best productivity app on my phone will be e-banking application. When I receive information that some money was arrived on my bill for projects that I work on, I get very productive.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Nothing beats that when productivity is
Productivity, yeah,
involved.
that's right. So yeah, it's another angle. It's a
Yeah.
surprising answer that is really good indeed. So Vladimir, thank you very much for today's interview, and I think everyone had. I mean, everyone who will have a look on the video will have something to learn, something to agree, something to disagree, but definitely there's a lot of stuff that can be learned from our dialogue in this fantastic cafe behind us. Keep learning, keep pushing, keep being champion, and keep. I think you are one of the most advanced people in Southeast Europe from pioneering the technology, digital construction, BIM, and the digital twin technologies. So
Thank you very much.
keep doing that, and see you in some show in the future.
Thank you very much, and thanks you for this.
So see you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.
Thank you for joining Digital Construction Champions. Remember, technology alone does not change construction. People do. Champions do. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and stay connected with our community. See you.